Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one, the only Uncanny Omar.
Maybe there's more than one. I'm not sure.
I'm his wife and co-host, Astonishing Melanie, and together we are Omni.
We should have done a One Piece thing, but do they fuse in one? No, they do gears. Never mind. Spoilers. How's everybody doing?
No, it's steampunk gears. They put gears on their hats. They go click, 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 click.
Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful weekend, a great Saturday or Sunday.
Yes, and look, and forgive me for probably mispronouncing your name.
Elan, how do you say your name, Elan?
Is it Elon? But saying it in your native language, like good morning.
He's like my native language. I'm from Minnesota.
No, this person is like I was saying the person's words. Okay. Everybody else say it.
Melanie, the host. Yes, I'm always the co-host. Hello, all fine. How are you, my baby? Hello, my.
You gotta sing it. Hello, my baby. Hello.
When I hear that song, I always think of Spaceballs. Check, please. God, I love that movie.
Wait, who sang it perfectly? Me or him? I said Elon.
It's got to be me.
You said Elan. Wait.
Elan.
No,
that's a Kentucky way of saying it. Elon or Elan? Who says it better?
Elon. You say Elon.
Not.
Kevin, thank you so much for the super sticker that on our end we can't see. I'm imagining it's terrific, and in fact, Alf gives it a ting.
Wow, he's tinging long before the Walt Comics ad, which I'll tell you what to do.
Like, did it change? Did it change?
Yes. No. Greetings from Germany. Oh, Melanie said. Of course, Melanie's saying it right. She taught me English. What's up, Jeff? How are you, my brother? Good evening.
G-Pod evening.
G-Pod evening. Manga, dang, manga, sai. Oh, boy. Is that Japanese? Nope, that's not Japanese. Is that backwards? Is that Latin? I can't say.
I don't know.
Omnibo. I just bought the Spider-Man plate. You a madman. I've seen pictures and I was like, oh, my brother's got me a PS5 for Christmas. And that was really
Omni,
cool.
It popped up on my feed. I gave it a like. Your Spider-Man PlayStation. Finally playing Spider-Man, so have fun with that.
Dude, have fun, yeah.
All right, David is saying that not fond of the manga or the anime of One Piece, but the adaptation from Netflix, David highly enjoys.
That's awesome. Surprising. Yeah, Amanda and I reviewed it, and she's coming from an angle of never having read the manga or watched any of the anime. She just knows it's a thing, and she liked it. I loved it. It surprised me because I don't think those things were meant to be loved. Like live adaptations of anime, we have been hurt a lot, with a few exceptions, right?
Oh yeah, no spoilers. I liked it. I watched the first episode. I liked it. Yeah. And I'm reading the manga. I've never watched the anime.
Maddie, Tina, Amanda, and I are reviewing it on Wednesday at 8 p.m. like the entire season. Because
I will say, Amanda said they spent more money than Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. So per episode. That's crazy.
Hey, Chris, it's a gorgeous day in Charlotte, North Carolina. Question: what is one thing that Marvel does great with collected editions great with the collected editions too at DC Comics should implement and vice versa? Okay, so what's something good each of them does and the other one should do? Right.
Okay. DC seems to focus more on creator-centric omnis or event omnis, and I wish they would just have faith in their product that it will sell. And I know it took a while for Marvel to also get there, right? Like it wasn't just overnight that they were like, hey, we're going to go ahead and start doing a volume 4 of things. We're just going to, because remember before they would call things like Mutant Massacre. We didn't know where we were going to go, but the sales of these things just kept going up. People took interest. People kept buying volumes 2, volumes 3. I always go back to my Conan announcement of volume 5. And I remember thinking, I think in that video I said, and one day we're going to get a Spider-Man 5 and an X-Men 5. Can you believe it? Because this really opens the door for future volumes. So I kind of wish DC would do that, right? Instead of giving us Batman Nightfall, Batman. But that's the way their trades department was for a long time. Now, what Marvel could learn from DC I wish they would do the absolute editions, and I know that's a DC thing, but oh my gosh,
They're
love
really
them.
pretty.
They're beautiful, and I know Marvel has their gallery editions now, which are bigger than the absolute editions, but I absolutely love the absolute editions. It's a beautiful way to collect
look at
books.
how pretty.
Well,
it's extra shiny, right? We got the plastic.
You don't get as much as you do in an omnibus, but in my video of what the differences are between an omnibus and a absolute edition, that will be coming out sometime probably in September. But I'm a big fan of absolute editions. I wish Marvel would do
bigger than your head.
Do that and just be like, oh, that is pretty. Let's go ahead and do it. I kind of like the uniform look to a lot of the spines, but I also like when DC's like, oh, Flash is going to be different. Green Lantern is going to be different than Flash. So I'm kind of in between, but that's what I would change. Great question. Exceptions like drag. Oh gosh, dude, that movie was awful. Melanie, I'll let you. Not let you. This is for you. You read it.
Okay, John. Thank you for the super chat. And then we give you this one. Have you seen the version of The Thing somebody made where they put Pingu in the Kurt Russell role?
No, is that
wait,
real?
Wait. Where's my Pingu? Pingu?
I didn't do anything.
Pingu's gone.
I didn't do anything with Pingu.
Oh, here's right Pingu. There he is. Okay.
I always thought he was on the toilet reading a comic.
No, he's in a chair. So if you don't know, this is Pingu right here in the Kurt Russell role.
If you don't know, you're gonna learn today.
It's wait. I can say. It's Brew Noodle.
Oh, the internet.
That's awesome. Thank you for letting me know it exists.
Wait, somebody wanted a shout out because I think it's their birthday. Let's see, what does it take to get a shout out for on my birthday? Is it your birthday? Jesse, say what? Birthday. But it's not Jesse, say today. What anymore. It's the artist formerly known as Jesse. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you.
Or maybe later, whenever your birthday is. Okay. Shout out.
Happy birthday, says Batman as he throws a cake in your face. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Why does that remind me of Dwight kicking Stanley's kick? He's like, happy birthday, Stanley. And just, from The Office.
There's a Pingu video game? Whoa.
What?
The Pingu thing is real. Did Chris dream this? Mm-hmm. Or did you say something a few weeks ago about 8 Marvel books waiting to be announced?
8 Marvel books. Oh no. What I have so far is the like a skeleton list. It's just empty spots for omnis, and that's and a lot of the time what they do is they have like an omnibus there, and then they move it to another time to make room for another book that might tie into a movie or a TV show. So I don't even like to tease because things get moved around during this time. So what's up? They're Brave and the boys. How's it going, my brother? That is Jake. I hung out with him last Saturday night. That was a long stream I was on.
So anyone else going to Baltimore Comic Con? Can't believe it's already time for that again. We're going.
We're going to be there. Yeah. We're going to be there Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday, depending if I do a show with Jess, because I know Melanie wants to get back. So yeah, we will be there. And speaking of, so next Saturday,
be there just not with a booth or a table or whatnot, just
the camera.
We're just
the camera. And speaking of going next Saturday, the stream's going to be a little bit earlier, probably around 8 or 9 Eastern Standard Time. So,
can you answer this question?
I absolutely would love to, because I hope so. Do you think we will get a Jed MacKay Moon Knight omnibus once the run ends? Absolutely, we will. I think, okay, how about this? 90% chance that we get it, because we got a Jed MacKay Black Cat omnibus, and I think that did really well, surprisingly, for a character not that well known in the Marvel universe. It did really well. Dude, happy birthday to your daughter, man. Yeah. Enjoy those years when you are their world. And they're your world, and they will always be your world. But when they're little, man, you are the sun that they gravitate around. They
gravitate around.
I miss those days, man. Yeah, remember when Alicia was so clingy with you, and Lydia would not she always wanted to watch TV. She got sad when we wouldn't play video games. Revolve around the sun.
There we go.
Gravitate. Hey, my kids gravitate.
Well, I mean,
but anyway,
gravity.
Enjoy those.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Those years.
You can answer this.
You guys going to New York Comic Con again? Hope to see you guys again. Camarones, I will be there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Amanda this year. We'll be covering the convention.
Is it in October?
It is in October. So yeah, we'll be there. So please look for us. Shoot us a message. If you ever see us at conventions, come and say hello. I don't care if I'm filming. Unless I'm interviewing Chris Claremont, then please don't.
he won't even see you. Like, he will not register in his brain.
It's all about Chris Claremont. I got nothing but Chris Claremont in my eyes. New Studio Ghibli film confirmed for American release theaters this fall. So it's finally coming out, huh?
Yay!
That's awesome. When we were in Japan, we almost got a chance to watch it. So I'm excited to see it. It's the final Miyazaki film too. Let's see. Morning NMC. How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well.
What about Arogus Type's got a question right here.
Hickman revealed he's working on a Marvel book he swore he'd never work on. Who do you think it is? Who do you want it to be? Iron Man's. But man, Iron Man really could use a big name, right?
Yeah.
Like a character that I wish he would work on. Hickman. What would he be really good? Doctor Strange would be solid by Hickman. Hickman's on another level. He loves world building. Character. Like, honestly, I love what he did with X-Men, right? But I don't want to see him on Wolverine. Like, Wolverine's fine. Even if he's just surfing on his adamantium
surfboard.
I'm trying to think of a character that Hickman would be, because he did the Fantastic Four. He's done Avengers, so he likes big team books.
Here, while you're thinking, I just want to mention that I started reading Wolverine Omni Volume 4 with
Larry Hama.
Thank you, Larry Hama. I was going to call him Hank. And I appreciate it. I really like the overtop drama and angst and stuff like that. But then after a while, I was kind of like, I started flipping through it. It was that 90s feel, which I appreciate. Or maybe it's just that I couldn't binge it. Perhaps that was it. Like, I was just sitting there in bed and then I started flipping through it. But I was thinking for my creative writing class of using like this one intro page, like the first page of one issue. What was it? I was just like, this is so awesomely dramatic and angsty, and I love his word choice. And so maybe, yeah, I think I should. But I saw somebody earlier in the chat was excited about Omni about the Wolvie Omni 4.
Yeah, so a couple of things about that, but dude, honestly, let's do the Hulk. Jonathan Hickman on the Hulk. Hulk's gotten a lot of love though lately. He's had some really stellar runs, but sure, I like to see him on the Hulk. Before I get to this question, people are asking about Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4. So I did a poll on our Patreon. So there's a link in the description to our Patreon. Starting at $1 a month, and there's different tiers that suits your needs. But
peruse them and find out which one suits your geeky needs.
There we go. But my Patreons voted for doing overviews a week before the book comes out. So I will no longer be doing overviews of the Marvel Omnis the week they come out. I will be doing them a week beforehand. So my overview of Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4 and the Captain America Lives Omnibus, the new printing, will be out on Monday, this coming Monday. So just keep that in mind. It's a week ahead of time. It's no longer the week of. I let them vote, and I put 2 weeks because I feel like 3 weeks is just too much, or a month ahead of time is just too much. I like getting
by that time. I'd forget.
Well, yeah, I like getting people hyped up around the time that the books are due out, and they're like, "Oh, I got to get this. That's right, it's coming out." So I didn't want to do like a month. Look, like I get it. I think we have this YouTube or social media mentality that first is always best, but that's not usually the case. Not with me, because I like to take my time with these things and make sure that I'm thorough with my overviews. Yeah. So for people that have been like, oh man, there's already an overview of this. I know, I'm sure there are people that have to have things out, and I just like to take my time and at my own pace. Claremont will be at Baltimore Comic Con.
Heath, you're gonna be there with your Days of Future Past?
No. Heath, you're gonna be there.
Will be at Baltimore Comic Con getting my Days of Future Past signed. Oh, that's awesome!
Well, I'll be see each other. Bugging him and his son then.
Let's get to some super chats. Thank you guys so much. So Omar, read this first one.
Hey Omni, Mr. Omar. Mr. Omar. I sound like a teacher.
Mr. Omar.
Do you think Marvel will finish out Daredevil, Avengers, Fantastic Four, and OHC? The DD Sadarsky Omni scares me a little bit. Love you guys. Aww.
Scares you as in how big it is, or
because you're worried about double dipping?
Of it. Oh, okay.
I would think so.
It's gonna stab you in the middle of the night.
Man, I hate bugging David on a Saturday. I may text him later today to see, because it's a question that I've been asked a lot. Do I think that they'll finish? I think they'll at least finish Daredevil and Avengers. I'm not sure about Fantastic Four. How many volumes is that? 4 so far? But I hope so. The eye roll from Omar with Melanie.
Yeah, I showed that one.
Good morning, Omar and Melanie. Miles is quickly becoming my favorite Marvel character in and out of comics. Who would be your favorite or favorites you enjoy reading or watching most? Wolverine. I really like what Hugh Jackman brought to the character too in the movies. So,
Spider-Man, because I've had a crush on him since middle school.
Why are you firing shots, Cody Summers? Ain't nobody talking about you or your family.
I'm glad you're enjoying Miles. Yeah, I'd like to show Across the Spider-Verse in my film studies class.
I think that's awesome. Hickman
on New Mutants. Part 1.
Part 1?
Right.
Of Doc Holliday. Okay.
There you go.
Today, we embark on a quest to unravel a 70-year-old mystery surrounding the enigmatic character known as the Phantom Stranger.
I don't have a Phantom Stranger.
Nobody does.
GIF. It doesn't exist.
Nobody has.
So thank you for the super chat.
Part 2.
2 super chats.
I've chosen to reach out to you because of your remarkable 25-plus years experience in the comic book industry will solve the mystery. You mean as to what his true origins are? Like I don't know. I don't even know what New Earth origin of. I assume, is he still Judas from the Bible, like the New 52 said he was? Is that still the origin we're holding on to, or the rebirth changed that? The last origin that I remember seeing is that he's Judas, and the coins around him are the coins he was paid.
And he's got Doc Holliday's got a part 3. Oh, let's go!
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Here, you're in your money.
Okay.
You gotta choose one of the following and why.
All right.
Wandering Jew, the fallen angel, time traveler, scientist, the immortal spared by God, Judas betrayed Jesus with 30 pieces of art, the New 52. So there's where you're choosing from.
Okay, brother. Okay. Oh my gosh. Which origin is the right origin of the? Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, I Judas is cool. That's a cool origin. The Fallen Angel, that's the Alan Moore origin. Time Traveler, that ties into the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Honestly, I really like the first one, the very first one in that Secret Origins book, and that's the Wandering Jew. I really like that story and how it, he's always had this biblical origin as far as like DC has. So I like how this random 50s character that they never gave a name to, he immediately became this weird, almost like omnipotent type of character that took on the Spectre later on in comics, just because I think in the 50s they just didn't think the character would catch on or care enough to make him an origin. But really cool. That omnibus is really cool. Like, yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, and there are some stories in there that made me think, oh my gosh, this is way too repetitive. But it was the 50s, right? And I'm a sucker for EC comics, and it had that feel for a while.
Whoa, I had a dream last night that I was wearing an EC Comics shirt. And what else was on the shirt? And I was like, I felt like a poser. I swear, this is what I thought my dream. I felt like a poser. I was like, I've never read an EC comic and I'm wearing the shirt. Tell you what, Venom, though, I'm not posing with this. Yeah. Is this from the movie? I bought this in Japan. Is this like supposed to be like the movie Venom kind of like, I don't know, aesthetic?
We are Venom.
I don't care. I'll wear it because I love Venom.
She does. Can you imagine?
Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat.
The comic-related dad jokes Omar forces on the girls. Hey, Lydia, what kind of food does Gotham City hate? Harley Quinn.
Quinzine. I can't say it.
There we go.
That is awesome. I'm so sorry. I cannot use
her
Harley
voice
actress
for you
because
passed away. Her voice actress passed away Really young. Omar, Judas is cool. The Judas origin is cool.
Here, baby, pick a question.
We are Venom.
Imagine Alf with a Venom symbiote.
No.
Cats.
Omar, do you think Spider-Man with JMS Volume 2 and Spider-Man Nick Spencer is worth getting? Do you have Volume 1 of JMS? I think it's completely worth getting if you have Volume 1 and you enjoyed it. Despite of what people say about One More Day and Since Past, including people like me, I think you should still read it and make up your own mind. There could be something that you like in there. And there's still some solid stories in the Omnibus Volume 2. Nick Spencer, I liked a lot of his stuff in the Omnibus. I like the whole mystery of this new brand new character. I like bringing back the Parker lug, rooming with Boomerang. There's a lot of good in there. I like I said, I love talking about these books, and I never want to steer anyone away from something that they could possibly enjoy. So when people ask me my honest opinion of things, just because I don't like something doesn't mean you will, or vice versa.
Doc Holliday said Judas was his pick.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I like that one. But Wandering Jew, I've always been a fan of that particular story, and then bringing it in the comics was really cool.
Murph Ballad Celestials, thank you so much for the super chat. And you're asking for an update on bookmark reading orders.
Okay,
not stopping.
When I get back from Baltimore Comic Con, I'm going to talk to my buddy Chris, who helped design, or my buddy Heather, and actually I'll get with Heather because I told her I'd give her a call. And we'll do something, okay? I promise you. Okay. I have no idea where we're gonna get it printed. We do have shirts and stuff though on Spreadshop. If you want to go and check out our merch, you're going to a convention, you got a near mint condition shirt on, and I got a near mint condition shirt on. We'll just do like that. What's up?
Do a chest bump. Sean's got a question.
Are you excited for the Wonder Woman video game? I didn't even know there was a video game with Wonder Woman. There's a video game? Huh. So who's making it? That's what I want. I'm okay with Since Past now. Redcon. What are the chances we'll get a Marvel team up or Marvel 2-in-1 omnibus? Remember when I said I've seen the skeleton list of books that were supposed to be in there? A couple of years ago, one of those was on the list, but then it was removed. Still not out. Still not in the horizon. So the chances of at least one of those is good. Don't tell me you like Paul and Wells' current run, though.
The first trade?
Yeah, I like the first part.
Trade?
You mean, I like that you're calling it Paul, like he's the writer. Yeah, Arlene Sorkin, she's the one that passed away. Sad, man. She's a great voice, really young. Who do you think of Joe Kelly's JLA run? Is it friendly to new readers, or should and DC make it more accessible in physical copies? I love this run. Very underrated. I know that people hate the matching up of two heroes getting together in his run, but I happen to like it. I thought it made sense for these two characters to get together. And then when they go on a date, they realize, yeah, this just isn't for me. I thought that was good. But I'm a big fan of his run. Doug Mahnke was the artist on a lot of it. It spun off into the Justice League Elite series. We got that great Superman story. Why did the Nick Spencer Spider-Man 2 get pushed back so far past the original? Because they had to redo the entire omnibus list. That's why. Part 1. Hey, Omar, Melanie, love your channel. Watching from Australia. What do you think the likelihood is for a reprinting of Batman Legacy Volume 2?
Thanks for watching.
And from Part 2, I have Contagion Legacy 1, Cataclysm, Road to No Man's Land, and No Man's Land. I don't want to start reading that. Oh, man, that's a problem. I will say this, man, or lady, or ma'am. The likelihood of them reprinting a trade paperback like that is very, very rare. More than likely, you have a chance of running into it in the wild. Like if you're at a comic book shop, you might run into it, but they hardly reprint trade paperback, especially if it's like a volume 2 of something. At least as long as I've been collecting collected editions, they've never done a reprint of a volume 3 or 4 of a trade paperback like that, unless it's something that they like to keep an evergreen. I think you have a better chance of running into it in the wild, or a Legacy Contagion omnibus coming out sometime, which I think they'll do one day. I hate for you not to read it though, so maybe digitally you can do the little digital part. Let me get David and then I'll go. Omar, I know you mentioned Batman Animated Adventures is going to be on your top 10 this month. Is it? Yes. Is that more nostalgia or? Oh no! If you've never read it, it is so good. There's some really, really solid stories in there by not just Paul Dini but Kelly Puckett. And Kelly Puckett, of course, went on to co-create Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, the greatest Batgirl ever. No offense, Barbara. Barbara will forever be my oracle. But there are some solid stories that are set in the universe of Batman animated series. So not really like an adaptation of the Batman animated series episodes, but more of stories that center around there. I'll be doing my overview. I hope to do that and film it before we leave for Baltimore. Thank you for the super chat, Chris Zimmerman. What is your least favorite Batman omnibus? Love you both. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Thank you, my brother.
Too.
Okay. Oh, well, I can tell you my least favorite. I don't own it. And that is the Batman Arkham Asylum omnibus. It's huge, but I'm also not a fan of like stories that are set in a video game universe. For some reason, I love Injustice, but I think
it's a good video game universe.
No, I like the Arkham Asylum video games. I just didn't, I'm not that into it that I need to go and buy the omnibus. So that's my least favorite one. I'm sure there's some
interesting to read, but I guess
I'm sure there's some great stories in there though. I couldn't go. I did get rid of all my Golden Age and Silver Age. No, I just had Golden Age Omnis. I had some Silver Age archives.
All right, I gotta take a picture of the timestamp. There we go. Let's go. It's time for once again me to announce Students of the Week. The week. That's an echo for dramatic effect, by the way.
We got somebody from Brazil watching. Yeah, I think Paul Dini did work on some of those stories, by the way.
So I am a high school English teacher, and school has started back up. We've been for 2.5 weeks in now. And I'd like to announce the Students of the Week.
Put your phone down. Listen to the teacher.
Yeah. So last week
I'm talking to you, Shonda. So put your phone down. Listen to your teacher.
You're interrupting me.
I'm so sorry.
What's
the co-teacher called?
Co-teacher.
I'm a co-teacher.
You're Mr. Valdivieso. All right.
Ooh, I like that.
Last week we I did have Students of the Week, but I was not here on the live stream to announce. So Jake in first period was Student of the Week for his great participation.
Brazil needs to know who's Students of the Week.
Yeah,
like the entire country of Brazil.
Hannah in second period for film studies, just great insightful answers. Amaria the same, great terrific work ethic in film studies. Jocelyn in creative writing, you can't stop that girl from writing. And then Bray in English 1 second period, he had some great insightful answers.
His name's Bray.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool name.
So for this week, Students of the Week, we've got in first period English 1, Lily, because you've got some great ideas and techniques to help yourself in English class. I thought that was really commendable. And Joey in second period film studies, because you're a hard worker and I'm just proud of you. Let's see. Viola in third period film studies for the amount of work she put on her essay. Jessa Page in creative writing for being brave and sharing something that was really deep and hurtful. And you can't laugh when I'm saying that.
I'm so sorry.
But Jessa Page, you know what I'm talking about.
I was laughing at the comment.
And then finally Haley, because she doesn't give up and she asks questions, and I'm really proud of her for getting work done when she's gone from class. So good job, guys.
Thank you,
everybody out in YouTube land, for listening.
And for everybody that did not make it to Student of the Week, yours truly didn't either. And look where he is now. Okay,
a YouTuber.
Just because you make it on that list, don't mean you're going to be a success in life. But you should be if you're watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. And tell your mom and dad to hit that like button too, and your auntie.
So thank you guys. We'll get back to we'll get back to the show. This segment is sponsored by Skillshare.
Oh my gosh, it's
gonna sound like I'm about to do an ad.
There's gonna come a time to that. There's gonna come a time where I'm like, oh, I gotta get Skillshare. Melanie, now that school started, how many of your students have already discovered that you're an internet superstar?
I'm not.
You're so humble, so humble.
Miss V. Well, stop talking to me about New Warriors. My parents are worried. Let's see. Melanie, what do you think are the biggest problems for schools getting students to read? Beyond reading being treated as a chore, at my ADHD, I think there's an overemphasis on the classics. Well, you know how I feel about Shakespeare. I'm not the biggest fan. He did some great stuff, and there's some cool parts. And once I get into it, but I appreciate it more. But
maybe that's why you don't like Starman.
I'm telling you, it is a good story. It just didn't reach me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely promote in my classroom a positive environment, and just to be honest and share like my love of comics and like that reading. You can read anything and it's good for you, right? Like, or show like I'll start reading a book. If I don't like it, I quit because, well, it's not for assignment. If it's for an assignment, learn some character, tough it out, stick with it, read it. But I think attitude is a big part of it, and being open to different types of media. Yeah, like comics. Like
Melanie's
there are terrific stories in comics. I would love to teach Daredevil by Zdarsky as like its own little unit. Oh my gosh. That would be great.
Somewhere Frank Miller.
Maybe we should do
Frank Miller is crying, shedding a tear.
Well, sorry, Frank
really,
Miller.
that guy? Not Frank Miller, not the guy that redefined Daredevil, but Chip Zdarsky, the goofy Canadian.
I love Zdarsky.
This is
I
Frank
don't just
Miller.
I love Zdarsky.
This is Frank Miller talking, not me. The goofy Canadian with some pretty good story ideas. That guy, not Frank Miller, not the guy that made sure that Daredevil was a flagship title. Good morning,
thank you,
Omar and Melanie.
And you finished Daredevil Volume 2, your most cherished Omni.
That's awesome. That's your most cherished one. That's great. Omar, I've been a big fan of Mike and Laura Allred's art, but I have never read Madman. Can you sell me on the stories?
That's a good question.
Madman was his creator-owned comic that he did independent, and then was published across many different publishers. Right there for a while, Image had it. Right now, Dark Horse has it. The art evolves. So don't judge it too hard on those first few volumes, but it's goofy, quirky. Think if you've read his stuff in the Ecstatics with Peter Milligan, it's crazy stuff like that, but it has a lot of heart. And he's also a huge fan of music, like not just music, but the behind the music. So there's a lot of like musicians that show up through there as Easter eggs, and it's great. There's a story with Superman. And during the Image era, of course, like Savage Dragon shows up. But it's a lot of fun. It's goofy, quirky, but a lot of heart. And I don't want to spoil too much about it, but that would be my pitch: goofy, quirky, with a lot of heart. Kind of like
a good pitch.
Kind of like Ecstatics.
Patrick's first time watching this live stream. Welcome, Patrick. Any chance we could see Marvel release an OHC for Mark Miller's Spider-Man? Terry Dotson's art would look great in the oversized format.
Yes,
it's Miller.
No, it's Miller.
Oh, I like saying Miller.
Well, it's not your last name.
No, it's not.
Patrick, there was already an oversized hardcover. It's just called Spider-Man. It's Marvel Knights Spider-Man, though. It's a deluxe edition hardcover. It's out of print. It came out years ago, and it went out of print years ago. Every once in a while, you can still find it online, though, like on eBay. I don't think they'll reprint it, but maybe in an omnibus format. I want to say part of that will probably be in a Venom Epic collection, too, a modern Epic collection.
James is saying musician Easter eggs like in JoJo Parts 2 and 3.
I wouldn't know. I didn't make it that far.
Ooh. Michael's saying, asking, will the reprint Tomb of Dracula omnibuses occur? Shang-Chi?
I know for Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
For Shang-Chi, at least I can answer this. That, to me, was always supposed to be a one print and done deal. They were never going to be any reprints of that stuff. That's what they stated whenever they did the Omnis. That's why they just pumped them out.
Miller, the Barbarian.
Are you singing Conan the Barbarian?
Warrior without fear.
Oh, Starfield. That just came out.
Oh,
but they've been working on that game for like 7 years. As far as Tomb of Dracula, I'm sure those will come. Tomb of Dracula Volume 2 gets close in our top 20 all the time. last year, I think. No, this year was one of the closest. It's like 26, something like that. As a follow-up, I took cinema studies as my lit requirement in college because it's about analyzing films that you would do in books or based on books.
Like, no, it's about like analyzing films like you would books.
Gotcha. I'd love to see English classes overall integrate comics and more. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm sorry that wasn't the answer you were looking for, Michael, but that's just the honest answer. I mean, I can always ask about Shang-Chi.
Thank you, Omar.
But
thank you, Omar.
But I mean, look what they did with the epics, right? Like they stopped the epics, and they're not. It doesn't look like they're going back.
To go back, or to what Sam was saying with this film studies, it is a new class, and other teachers are teaching it as well. We're trying to figure out like the direction and goals for it. I'll tell you what, I wanted to use the first episode of One Piece, like use a couple of the camera framing and angles as examples from the episode, but Netflix was blocked by the district at school and I couldn't do it. And I was disappointed. I had my manga ready and we were going to discuss translating a comic into the film version. And
let me see this for a second, baby.
Get to it.
I slept on Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4 Omni and have been plagued with regret. Oh, no. What are the chances of a restock? Usually they've been restocking the standard editions. They don't really restock the direct market covers.
Whoa, wait. Blast chose Civil War over Superman Red Sun when they were choices for an assignment freshman year of high school.
Okay, wait. The comics.
Yes.
God bless you.
That's awesome. It was the English GT class.
That should be a t-shirt. Dragon Ball, everything.
Dragon Ball GT English class. I'm trying to say.
A class on the crossing of Batman year 2. Let's go. Oh, yes. I could teach you all about the crossing in year 2. And Hickman on Spider-Man would be very different in a good way. Like J.M. DeMatteis's Spectacular Spider-Man was different from Amazing in the early 90s. Hickman wrote some Spider-Man already, though, in that full circle storyline. Was that it? Was that what it was called? Came out in oversized hardcover, and it's part of the Omnibus, too.
How are you doing, Asif? I hope I'm saying your name right. How's Batman Adventure Omnibus stories?
A lot of standalone stories. That's what I like about it. So not continuing. And it's honestly the first time you get Harley Quinn in a comic book format, even though it's set in the Batman animated series universe.
Oh, yeah. This segment is sponsored by NordVPN. Why not get it for now?
Oh, yeah, why not get it for now?
No, if it happens again, I'll request for it to be unblocked for me. I don't know. They probably couldn't do that. I don't know, because it's on the Wi-Fi. Anyway. Let's see. Saturday Morning Fan saying the Doc Savage Marvel 2-in-1 issue is still for sale digital. Shame it's not in Epics. Marvel Team Up Masterworks here's missing Saturday Night Live issue.
Yeah, I figured that the Saturday Night Live issue was going to be a problem. And yeah, the Doc Savage issue unfortunately can't be reprinted as of now. That's why that Marvel 2-in-1 Epic collection was delayed for so long.
A Roguish Type is saying that the new cover for the Batman.
Oh, I love it.
A huge improvement.
It looks like the Batman animated series.
And good morning, Matt. You're totally fine. When you would reread Uncanny X-Men from the beginning for fun and into X-Men 91 era, what's your stopping point? Or do you reread to the newest issue at the time?
I would reread to wherever they were at the time. Absolutely. I didn't want to miss a thing. Even the bad stuff.
Don't want to miss thing.
Well, Batman Adventures Omnibus equals Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. Please, DC, do it. You know, have they done... I need to pick up the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited on Blu-ray, because I have Batman Animated on Blue, I have Superman Animated, and I have Batman Beyond. I need to get that. Will we get a Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 5? Yes.
Thank you, Dennis, for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. And yes, we will one day.
Okay.
Absolutely, we will. With the letter pages and everything.
Do you think the success of Marvel's X-Men Adventures Omni helped persuade DC to finally release the Batman Adventures Omni?
Maybe. I'll be honest with you, brother. I was really surprised how well that Omnibus sold. That one surprised me because I know it's X-Men and X-Men books always sell, but it's X-Men based on the animated series adaptations. I just like, okay. weird. I don't think there was. I don't even think there were enough people that would remember that comic, and it sold. It sold well.
Well,
but I guess
and
maybe
that cartoon probably got a whole lot of people.
Oh,
into comics,
absolutely!
So
it got
like
a lot of my
place
friends
in your heart.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, I know that cartoon.
Right.
Mr. Kyle is saying that Jonathan, I almost said Demon. Demon has a YouTube channel that talks about the Claremont run of X-Men like a college course, analyzing its impact. Very good if you're interested in comics reviewed as lit and love X-Men. Thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you, Mr. Kyle.
There you go.
I always love your avatar.
Did they write enough JLU comics? I know they have enough for 3 more Batman the Animated Series related titles. Batman, Robin, Gotham, and Adventures Continue.
I don't know how many Justice League animated comics they wrote. The channel is his name. Thank you. Do I have Young Justice seasons 1, 2, and 3? No, I don't. That's another one, and I really like that series too.
A roguish type is mentioning like Fantastic Four is one of David Gabriel's favorites.
Oh yeah,
can't imagine he passed up on doing volume.
That's his favorite comic at Marvel.
Dark Jess says that in order to reprint the Saturday Night Live Marvel team up, Marvel reportedly needs explicit permission from each of the individual cast members or their estates.
Oh, and Belushi, my goodness, the Belushi estate. Never mind. But you're right.
I have not read the Shy manga. What did you think of it? If you read, yeah,
I haven't read it yet.
I guess I am going to need to find a stopping point in One Piece and go do another manga, so I don't get burned out. And also, I want to read other stories.
You need to do your video first. You need to get to volume 23.
Oh, yeah.
You're almost there.
Yeah, I am. I'm on 18, 19.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Y'all, if you watch the y'all's is listen up. If you watch
what kind of English teacher are you?
If you watch their Netflix adaptation of One Piece.
Wow, that's really good, baby. You sound like an old Southern lady.
Well, let me tell you, you enjoy the manga. I highly recommend it. And I'm not making fun. Like that's pretty easy to roll off the tongue. Like I like the way different dialects sound. I like people's voices and I like the different ways they sound. And when I taught at Anderson County and there were a lot of like, it's a farming community, like I kind of picked it up.
Teach me about the Haints, Melanie.
I love the way I sound as an old country woman.
I think you're gonna not have a choice.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever reprint John Carter of Mars Omnibus? I don't think they can right now. I think they lost the rights to that one. Kind of like The Stand and the Stephen King books.
I'm not fancy enough to be a Southern Belle. I'm not classy enough.
No, she's the old lady warning you about the poltergeist.
Now you hear
Carol Ann, step into the light, Carol Ann. That's Melanie.
He's at it again.
When did Melanie turn into Kathy Bates? Yes, the wise old lady. She's not rogue. She's not rogue at all. She's the wise old lady.
I don't think I could do Valley Girl. Like totally, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh God, please
go.
don't.
I don't know.
In case we'll see a reprint of Wonder Woman by Pet S, Omnibus Volumes 2 and 3. Just ordered the first order Volume 1 and ready to dive into it. I think we'll get those. It's got his name on the title on the book itself. I think we'll get those. Those will come.
Oh yeah, Max is bringing up the fact that I microwave water for tea. Yep, see, I'm not classy enough to
see the character of Angela playing Marble Snap that looks like Todd McFarlane's Angela from Spawn. Coincidence, or is it the same character? All right, so a little quick background into that story. That's the story of how Marvel ended up with Marvel Man again, Miracle Man, Neil Gaiman. So really quickly, Angela was a character that was created by Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane in the pages of Spawn number 9. And because Image is the way that Image is, Neil Gaiman had creative rights. So there was a whole lawsuit for a long time. What's up, Scott? How are you, brother? As to who would get the rights and court and everything. And in the end, Neil Gaiman won. And I believe rumor is that he sold Angela out of spite to Marvel Comics for $1. And then they got the rights back to the Eclipse stuff like Miracle Man. So it's the same character. So they wrote her into the Marvel Comics. Like, oh my gosh, it was so. There was a retcon, has something to do with Thor. You can read about it, and the she showed up in, what was it? It was Guardians of the Galaxy by Brian Michael Bendis. So that's a little bit of the story as to how Angela got into the Marvel Universe. What's up, Eddie Brock? Look what the shirt she's wearing, man.
If you don't have time for Elden Ring, or it can not even to
Baldur's Gate 3. Are you serious?
We were talking about that last night with our friends. That his brother-in-law, my brother-in-law, has to wait for. He's like, I'm waiting for my.
He's a console guy. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's like, I can't play it yet. They give us more time.
Y'all are crazy spending that much time. Like, I wish I did have that much time to spend on video games, though. It's gonna take me like 4 years to beat.
Well, it did start 16. I don't I haven't played that. Oh yeah, I suppose I should preface that with what game it is. Final Fantasy 16. I don't really have an opinion yet because I've only played 2 hours. Bonjour, Melanie. Bonjour, Omar. Bonjour, everybody.
No, he's saying the whole world. No.
Oh, is he? Oh, it is. That's world because Mundo is world in Spanish, and that looks like Mundo. But I don't know how to pronounce
Latin.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce French stuff, though. If Angela shows up in a movie, does Tommy Farland get residuals?
I don't think so. Not anymore.
She was introduced during the original Sin event.
Yes, and she ended up joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Did you notice I was copying you?
Yes.
Oh, man, you're good at, staying focused. Look, saying bonjour.
It's the greatest form of flattery.
Jacob says thanks. They look so similar. It had the same name.
Yep, it's the same character. Now she didn't come she came alone though. There's no Tiffany or any more angels that came with her.
Oh, James, the deathbed, the bed that eats people. That was or the bed that eats. That's what it was. That was
Deathbed?
That movie was so bad. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, we reviewed that on Reels Talk. That was a lot of fun. Is there new Batman comics that are worth to read? World's Finest is excellent if you've not read it. That's by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Chip Zdarsky's run on Batman is solid too. You nailed it, Melanie. Good job, baby.
It was also Cagliostro and Medieval Spawn too, so Todd and Gaiman came to a deal.
Oh, okay. Medieval Spawn, that's right. I think Todd owns the rights to that one because he can still make the toys. Put my games. What's up, Kingsport Cow?
Bragging.
Where'd you put them away?
A long time ago.
Yo, dust them off, man. Some of them could be worth some money.
Thor. Lightning and Thunder was a missed
opportunity. Love and Thunder. Lightning and Thunder.
I was like, what does it stand for? I can't remember. It was a missed opportunity to introduce Angela to the MCU.
I think Angela got lucky.
Oh, that Angela.
Wow.
I did read that. Wow, that took forever.
That took a long time there.
I'm multitasking. And
I'm not judging.
And I just assume
as Guardians of the Galaxy.
When you explain things that it's I'm slowly learning, it's probably something that I don't know, but I do know, Angela.
Okay, really quick, let's get to this. All
right.
Is Sins of Sinister
a David, thank you for the super chat.
A sequel to X Lives and X Deaths of Wolverine? Yes, but I strongly suggest Melanie finished reading it. Yes, because it continues the story of one character that I don't want to spoil.
Oh.
I strongly suggest at least reading Immortal X-Men Volumes 1 and 2.
Yes.
Before reading Sins of Sinister. If you're gonna read, if you're not reading everything, at the very least read Kieran Gillen's Immortal X-Men 1 and 2.
And Max, was it you that suggested that to me?
No, it was your husband, Omar.
Well, somebody in the chat did as well.
Don't need Max. I'm the one that does reading orders.
Yeah.
Max is busy playing on the guitar.
I enjoyed Immortal X-Men a little bit more.
It's good.
Just because there's more sassy Sinister.
You can read X-Men Red to kind of see what Storm and Arako's doing if you're a little confused about that. But I think you can pull, you can definitely try to put it together. But the most important ones to read are
Max
definitely
said,
Immortal
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's
whatever.
David said thanks. That was super helpful.
You are so welcome.
But oh man, Immortal X-Men, both of them good. I wish I was a cosplayer. I wish I was a
No,
don't. A little bit taller. I wish I was a cosplayer. I would go as Mr. Sinister to Baltimore Con. Oh, that would be so much fun to have the beard strap and the makeup and the cape and oh man.
I am not dressing up.
Beforehand. I have no idea how to do it.
Gender swap, Mr. Sinister. You can be Mr. Sinister.
No, I want to be the male Mr. Sinister. He's sassy.
You're not sassy enough. You're a Southern old lady. You can be Destiny.
No, I'll be the shoot. What's her name? Nanny. No, the egg.
Oh, that's Nanny.
Nanny. I'll be Nanny.
I'll be Orphan Nigger. That's a really creepy.
Oh, what are you doing?
That's a really creepy, couples costume right there. Nanny and Orphan Maker. because I'm a child inside of this. Never mind. That's just weird.
Oh my gosh.
Omar can be Emma Frost. Like, there's some chesticles up here.
Yeah, Nanny. I liked Nanny.
Daniel just walked in saying morning, and he's like, "What are these two idiots talking about?"
You're gonna go as Alf.
I am not gonna go as Alf. Whoa! We ran into Alf at Lexington Comic Con. Melody's like freaking out, like he was like a freak. Like, you were having a bad day, and I remember that really made you smile. You're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Alf!" And I'm like, I'm just gonna let her pretend that it's a real Alf because my wife is having a bad day.
I almost made an obscene gesture. Oh, but you're so sweet with what you said at the end.
Mariko Tamaki and Dan Mora's Detective Run. How is Dan Mora doing 2 monthly series? That guy's too good of an artist. Like, I mean, I'm seeing that as a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jess could show up as Wonder Woman.
Oh,
you could be a maid.
Do you guys want people to come to these things? Nanny and Orphan Maker. What will your kids say?
They won't know. They haven't read that.
What is the next omnibus announcement?
That's a good question.
Okay. So, like I said, I've seen the skeleton list of just dates and some books, but I can't even hint at them because I think they usually move them around. I know of one big book for sure that it's not going to be moved, and I cannot wait to announce it. And I will be announcing it by itself. Very excited to announce it. That's all I can say. That's not saying anything. Can we please see the Frank Frazetta book? That book and the other artist edition that I have, that will be shown on the channel this coming up week. I'm filming a few videos today and a couple more because we're going to be at Baltimore Comic Con, so I have to make sure that those are... I got to do videos on them just because people gift them to me. I still want to do videos on them, if that makes sense.
Are there any good comics that focus on Nightcrawler? That is a good question. What do you recommend?
There was a Nightcrawler miniseries by Dave Crocker in the 80s. It's can be found in Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 5. It's wonderful. It's the way that he's always pictured a character, and that is a swashbuckling hero. Excalibur, especially during the not Brian Michael Bendis, the Alan Davis era, when he makes Nightcrawler the lead character, the leader of the team. Those are excellent if you haven't read them. As far as new ones, I'm trying to think of some new series. There was unfortunately really difficult to find trade paperbacks of Chris Claremont and Derek Robertson's series of Nightcrawler, and it's more to do with his religious beliefs, and because he, much like Matt Murdock, he's a Catholic, and he has a lot, like, he's kind of questioning his beliefs in the series, and it is an excellent series that hardly anyone talks about, and unfortunately is out of print. Maybe somebody from YouTube should remind Marvel to make it come back in some kind of fat format. One big book not being moved, Transformers of Kyle. That's bait.
So we got a couple of super chats. Thank you,
baby.
Matt.
Hi, Matt, thank you for the reminder.
Friendly reminder of top 1 and done 12 issue or less stories to give to non-comic readers. Simple panel layouts, not tied to continuity, etc. That is a great idea.
So what I do every year in November, I do my top 10 best standalone graphic novels. I think, but you're talking about collected editions. This Wednesday, I've had this video filmed for a couple of weeks now, but this Wednesday is my top 10 recommendations for my top 10 graphic novels for people that have never read a graphic novel. That's what I'm doing this Wednesday. That list to even put together took me about a month to finally, like, I would go back and forth as to what works and what doesn't. It was really difficult because there were books I wanted to put in there, and I set aside how I felt about some books, because you'll see some books on my list that are not what I like, but I think people would benefit as new readers, like with that list. So that comes out on Wednesday, but that's a good reminder. I like the 12 issues, one and done. Track and field meet.
Yeah, Mega Shrimpster's that one between Sweden and Finland, the whole country, and wanting an announcement that's Gamma related. Have fun watching
Gamma, like a big green guy.
Jeff.
Stop, Jeff Omar's cosplay.
Thank you.
Venomized Alf. Like, you didn't even stop at Alf. You stopped.
$20.99.
You went with the $20.99 version of Venomized Alf. What the heck is even that?
Alf in $20.99. Top 10 comics to give my granny.
All right, I'm gonna need a picture of your granny. so she can be in the thumbnail. I wonder how well a video like somebody that has never seen. Oh my God, that is a good segment. Send me a picture of your granny, and every week I'll be like, top 10 comics for this granny. It'll be me pointing at the granny, right?
You can have a different
and it'll be a different granny each week. Top 10 comics for this granny.
Just her.
I won't even have her on the show. I don't even have to say names. It's just a picture of her. This is a really weird segment. But with the YouTube algorithm, those will be like my number one viral videos.
Let's see.
I believe just by looking at the wrinkles and her crow's feet, that she would be a fan of the Goon. BPRD.
Like reading somebody's palm, the lines. You're like reading the lines.
I'm reading the lines.
You've been
the smile.
This
the
woman
wrinkles.
looks like she's had a difficult life. Preacher for Granny. Granny of the week, student of the week.
The wrinkles around her mouth looks like she lived a good life because those are smile wrinkles. So she smiled a lot. She likes funny things. So I'm gonna recommend some Deadpool to her. Maybe a couple of new ones. I'll always recommend a New Warriors to people. Anyway, what the heck am I talking about? I think the only comic my granny would have liked is that Pope comic. What about Battle Pope that Robert Kirkman did?
Ryan said Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, I'm just thinking of what works.
That your coworkers who have never read a comic before don't know how to follow panels, comic tropes, or plot devices, or any connection to history.
Yeah. Every November I do my top 10. If you want to go back to those, and those do really well. I think people just like lists. People like I swear I think a year ago I was looking at the algorithm and I'm like, oh my gosh, these top 10 lists that I do. I should just turn my channel into what's that thing? Watch Mojo. Top 10 panels featuring Wolverine's claws. Top 10 panels featuring Deadpool's
I would watch that one.
Top 10 panels
You
featuring.
can talk about the art styles.
No.
And the drama and how
that takes too much. That's too much work. I'm just gonna draw top 10 pouches in the 1990s. Top 10 pouches in the late 90s.
Top chills. I was trying to think of that guy that the girls make fun of. Number 10.
It's funny because like I think people like lists for both.
People
like,
still watch Chills.
People like look at lists and are like, oh, I want to see what I agree with, and then other times they just look at lists to argue with you.
It's shorts content. Top 10 times Wolverine said "bub" in the comics.
What, the granny one?
Would you argue the top 10
top 10 grannies
Wolverine
in comics?
Claws. No, what if you got really ridiculous with it and rate all of rate each claw? There's 10 of them right. Okay, I think it's funny. This middle one's number 1. This one,
you know what? You, Tina, Amanda, and Maddie can do that. I gotta read. I'm too busy. Chills has the best voice. My daughter agrees. They always mimic that guy. My granny loves Berserk, especially that first
5 pages. Oh, I bet.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah.
Top 10 times Batman is not the best cult detective.
Boy, y'all ain't ever gonna forget that one, huh?
Top 10
6 out of 10 detectives. Batman's my number 1. Elaborate. Oh my gosh. Chills.
Yeah, see, we top 10 mandarins.
Oh, that's a good one. Top 10 fingers in the Marvel universe. Oh, I like top 10 fingers. I like Thanos' fingers, big and fat and purple. Sorry, this is Saturday stream. All right, let's focus back. Everybody bring him back. I didn't mean to crack my wife up like that. Top 10 worst comic stories trades.
Top 10 grandmas.
Top 10 grandmas in comics. I like that one.
Oh, Mike's got a question.
Did we skip my super chat? Melanie.
Dude.
Melanie, have you seen the version of the thing?
No,
got that one.
Best
Invisible Woman-centric stories.
John, thank you so much. I apologize.
Tom DeFalco, I know.
Probably when I was multitasking that I missed it. There you go.
I know when I say Tom DeFalco and Sue Storm, everybody thinks of the boob window uniform, right? When she had the 4 here and there was cleavage. Look, they knew their target audience back then. But he told some really good stories with her, especially when she became leader of the Fantastic Four. I really liked the way that Chris Claremont wrote her in X-Men versus the Fantastic Four. Pretty much any time that Reed turns evil, I really like how Sue deals with it. I'm a big fan of the Malice character too. Not because of the outfit, but just because of who she is. You know, She's the evil twin to, of course, without going into spoilers, to Sue Storm. But there's some really good stories with John Byrne too that had her in. Yeah, that featured her. I'm trying to think of the story in Captain America with the Lady Liberators that had her in there too. Top 10 time. What's up, Joe Cool? Needed her medicine.
I love all of these.
Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. Number one on that
moments.
list. Number one on that list. If this be my destiny, when Spider-Man, that's part of the reason why he's getting crushed. He's like, no, Aunt May needs her medicine. I failed her just like Uncle Ben.
I love these genuine suggestions, the meta suggestions, breaking the fourth wall suggestions.
See, they need to give the other three characters the chess window. Then I think
every baby. Ote. Top 10 Marvel characters wearing Levi jeans.
Wolverine, number 1.
Top 10 comics that give Aunt May. Who was the better Malice, Sue Richards or Lorna Dane? I don't know who Malice is.
I didn't like Lorna's hair. But Sue Richards. Yeah, Sue Richards. Top 10 times a comic character has died and come back the next week. Top 10 times a comic character's death has made the internet mad, only to realize they'd be back sometimes later because they haven't read enough comics. Omar reads Cleavage Window, Invisible Woman the same way he reads Playboys in the 90s for the articles. Thanks for that, buddy. I appreciate that.
On that film's is saying Amazing Spider-Man Omni Volume 4 is up on
in-stock trade. Is it the direct market cover? Or is it the Omar really misses that boob window was awesome. Like I'm not okay. Let me rephrase that. Tom DeFalco's run on Fantastic Four was amazing. Everybody thinks that the boob window 90s Sue Storm is just Sue Richards. She was a married woman. Is a representation of bad 90s stories, but they're really missing out on amazing stories by Tom DeFalco. Top 10 times the G grade. Top 10. Hey, we got an early review of Transformers issue number 1
by Daniel Warren Johnson.
And we can't post it until October 4th because that's when we can show the images and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to talking about it.
For Omar.
My freaking wife took that issue. I was busy editing.
Read it.
Now, we do have a good time right now to talk about Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. If you live in Europe and are interested in buying big books, Marvel or DC, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries. All emails answered within 24 hours. They also have a superb selection of out-of-print books. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com. Type in the word near mint condition at the checkout, and you get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40 or more. Now, each month they are doing a book of the month. And they're doing a couple of books, like they have a bigger sell on those.
Okay.
So the 3 books that they've chosen for this particular month are Melanie.
Spider-Man 2099 Volume 2, regular cover for €79.99.
How about €79.99? They still use cents, baby.
That's equivalent to $125. Black Science Volumes 1, 2, 3 bundle for €99.99. That's $150. And Wonder Woman by Gail Simone Omni New Edition for €69.99. And that's $100 equivalent in American dollars.
And that is found at Walt's Comic Shop.
Walt's Comic Shop, okay. Your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding, ding, ding.
Top 10 things. God.
Top 10 jazz
Top
heads.
10 civilian deaths. Top 10 jazz heads.
Ooh, civilian jazz.
Omar, top 10 times Omar failed the ting for Walt's Comic Shop.
Aw, but you never tried.
I don't need to try.
Top 10 Daniel Warren Johnson stories.
Ooh, I like that. Omar, did you read more Phantom? I haven't had a chance to go back and revisit it, honestly. If only I had a time machine. Top 10 poop.
I think the new Transformers series is off to a good start. I do.
Yeah. I'll leave it for my review, but I want to compare it to something that
I just want to get you hyped, get you excited. Yeah.
Top 10 Wild Comic Shop segments. Oh, when my wife forgets a couple of things. It's always about that. Top 10 YouTubers who have no idea what they're talking about. Well, okay, now we don't need we don't need shots fired like that, Kingsport Cal. I thought you were my boy, man. What's going on?
Yeah, okay, Danny Elfman's voice instead of weird science. Black science.
Good job.
Man, you all learned that Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens,
oh boy, here we
is
go.
the one that set up Tim Burton with Danny Elfman, y'all.
They didn't date.
Yeah, but set them up collaboratively because Oingo Boingo is his favorite band, Paul Reubens' favorite band, and he asked him to do he's like, hey, maybe he could do the music. Danny Elfman could do the music for Pee Wee's Big Adventure, which Tom Burton.
Tom Burton, Tim's younger brother,
directed.
Early Daniel Warren Johnson, can you at least say how much you love Transformers 1? Did Optimus Prime take anyone to Suplex City? I can't say. I will say, stop it. I will say that it's off to a good start, like Melanie said. There were some things that I didn't feel like very Daniel Warren Johnson, but more like Transformers than I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'll go back and reread it. Top 10 times Don Rosa got worked up about something.
Yeah, let's go. Because you can just say something. Say something little.
I really want to have a weekly segment with him just going off on me. Carl Barks didn't draw it that way. I'm not drawing it that way. I love his pauses. Top 10 Omar cover art double takes. Oh yes.
Top 10 times Omar calls AT&T because the internet doesn't work. No.
Top 10 times Omar stops in mid sentence because he's distracted by a pretty lady in a comic book. Dude, I do that so many times when I'm doing an overview flipping through the book. I'm like, oh, what's up, Mystique? What's going on? And then I'm like, the heck am I talking about? I'm in the middle of like talking about something important, like, oh, and this is when Wolverine's wife dies, and whoa, hey now, Rogue, man, I get so easily distracted. I'm like that dog in the cartoon that's like Bird. You know what I'm talking about, baby? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Looney Tunes. When the dog goes hunting, it's an old Looney Tunes cartoon. He just gets distracted by the bird.
I love Looney Tunes.
Like he's in the mid sentence and he's a bird.
Oh, okay.
I think they used the joke in what's it called, the Up, which is a wonderful movie. Seth Rogen's. Is it Seth Rogen? Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Using Up.
He's the voice of the dog.
Oh, okay. Honda Learning says, when I went Powerball, I make a movie of my life story. Gonna start with me watching an MC. No. Melanie be played by Rachel McAdams. Thank you. And Omar Michael
Pena.
Who's that? Because then he says just
the guy in Ant-Man and Wasp that tells the stories.
Oh, I like him though.
And I remember some people have told me you look like Rachel McAdams. I can kind of see that.
Thank you.
She's the girl in Mean Girls. She's the mean girl.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Wait,
she's also in the
Batman?
Notebook. She's in the Notebook.
Isn't she Batman? Not Batman, isn't she?
Rachel McAdams is not in Batman, baby.
What's her name? The woman.
Kim Basinger is in Batman.
No.
Oh, God.
No, I'm totally wrong.
No, wait. Okay, Rachel McAdams is in a superhero movie. She's in Doctor Strange.
Now I can't remember the director's
You're talking about Maggie Gyllenhaal? Katie Holmes. Who are you talking about, baby? That's in Batman.
Wait, what's his name? I can't even think of the director's
Tim
name.
Burton?
The guy that really likes time.
Christopher Nolan.
Okay,
there are two.
Who was he? Who's the female lead?
That should be a segment. Guess what the fudge my wife is thinking about? Rachel McAdams is not in those movies.
Well, who was it?
Maggie Gyllenhaal, like I said, or Katie Holmes.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you now that.
And then you get mad at me because you can't remember something. Okay. You are being Rachel McAdams in Mean Girls right now.
The scary rabbit's sister.
Yes, the scary
Johnny Darko.
The scary rabbit sister.
Jake
Gyllenhaal. Wow, look at you putting things together.
For the win. Okay, we'll get back to comic questions. Sorry, y'all. The character's name is Rachel. Yes, that's it.
My wife, everybody.
Top 10 superhero films that do not star Rachel McAdams.
Yes. Top 10 times I can't tell when my wife is thinking and she gets mad at me because I cannot read her mind every day.
New Spooky Channel saying, Omar gets distracted every other manga he mentions on his upcoming collected edition releases where the title begins. Do you like
big girls? You like elf girls that eat too much? It's stupid titles like that. I'm like, what the heck?
Hickman is writing Scary Rabbit Sister for Marvel. Does it sound like a Hickman title? I think it sounds like an interesting title.
I don't know.
Mike is asking, is there a favorite part of X-Men you like to reread from GS1 through issues 300 or something?
Oh, so many. Have I done my favorite moments in X-Men? I feel like that's a video I did a few years back. Oh, there are so many moments that I love in X-Men that just make me happy, make me like say yeah, or make me cry. Like, yeah, absolutely. Fall of the Mutants is definitely one of them. I mean, Fall of the Mutants is still one of my favorite moments. 10 times Melanie makes Omar's brain explode.
How do you think I feel?
Any chance for
I cannot recall information in my brain. I feel like it's exploded.
Compendium. Heard so much about the series, but no deluxe. No, there is no deluxe. There were some hardcovers of the first few trades, and then they discontinued those to just release them in trade. Well, it's Avatar Press that owns the rights to them, I think, still. They are releasing some hardcovers of collections, like Super God really surprises me. That's the Warren Ellis story. That I think has been long out of print, and trade paperbacks were only available. So yeah.
I always start with number 1.
God Loves Man Kills. It's great. Magneto ripping out. Oh yeah, there's so many good moments, man. Has Nova Volume 1 sales been positive enough for Volume 2 to be decided? What would you include in Volume 2, brother? Are you talking about the Eric Larson era of Nova, which I think is very underrated? Or are you talking about the DNA era, which has had an oversized hardcover, and every one of those issues can be found in the modern Cosmic Saga Omnis? Is the Hush Saga Omnibus worth buying if I already have the Paul Dini Omnibus? There's a lot of double dipping. If you have Hush and Paul Dini, you're going to be double dipping a lot. Is it worth buying? Only if you really like the character of Hush. And not everybody likes Hush Returns. I happen to like it, but there's a lot of people that hate it. Look up the like reviews of Hush Returns Omnibus or Hush Returns storyline, because not a lot of people dig it. It takes place during the War Games era of Batman.
You're wearing your Japan shirt as well.
Yeah, it's my Mega Man shirt. It's awesome. I love this shirt.
Both these we bought in Japan.
You have Iceman. They're done in different like
kind of like diner signs.
Yeah, diner signs.
Or like gas stations.
But it's the original 6 Robot Masters. Like you have Iceman, Cutman. It's really cool. The Richard Rider Omni. That's the New Warriors, Jeff.
I have a Legend of Zelda shirt that I bought in Spain.
You still got it?
I was like, hey, it's cool. Yeah, I think I got a hole in it. What do you think of Mary Jane as the new Jackpot with powers? Because I only read the Black Cat trade.
Where she already had powers?
Who wrote that?
McKay.
Yeah, and I don't think I finished it, so I don't really have an opinion.
I think that, remember,
I don't feel like I know enough.
Jackpot was a character that was in the Brain Trust era, and she had red hair, and her name was Jackpot, and she was just a red herring. Everybody was supposed to think that it was Mary Jane, and then for some reason, I think the editors were like, let's not do that. Let's just keep Mary Jane, Mary Jane.
How did she get her powers? Would that be a spoiler?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'll tell you after the stream.
Okay.
The I don't know. It seems like every few years they try to do something different with Mary Jane, whether they blow her up on a plane, whether she becomes Iron Man's assistant, whether she leaves Peter, stays with Peter, whether sure, it's temporary. I'm sure she'll end up losing them. I'm not digging her official Jackpot costume. I didn't like the original Jackpot. Sony's planning to make a Jackpot film? Sony's been planning a lot of things that don't come through, though. Jackpot was a red herring. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Hamza. Yes.
She's got this wrist thingy.
Yeah, she's got powers now.
So it's actual powers, or is it only her wrist?
Omar, have you checked out any Fall of X? I fell down the rabbit hole and tried as many titles as I could so I could cherry pick titles. I'm really enjoying it. Past Sins of Sinister and whatever's coming out in trade, I haven't read anything new. Oh, I'll take it back. I did read the Hellfire Gala digitally because everybody was like, you got to read it or we're going to spoil it for you. And I showed Melanie the last page that made me laugh. Or not last page, last couple pages. I'm like, so this setup, and then you get this page. And I just read it in my, it's the Juggernaut voice. But anyway, why don't we have a big, thick hardcover for Peter David's Fallen Angel? Oh my gosh.
Pause after.
Because I want to make sure I read. I've never read the series, but would love to. It's phenomenal. IDW still owns the rights, I believe, and that would be awesome. And especially if it's Peter David, he get a bigger percentage because his name is on the title. Absolutely, I would love that. Hush return. I didn't know. Oh yeah, Hush come back. He's been back a few times. Heart of Hush was one of the best ones. Heart of Hush is freaking phenomenal. If you've not read it, brother, that's by Paul Dini. It will be in the Hush omnibus, but it's also in the Paul Dini Batman omnibus.
Do you know why I got canceled? The Mary Jane miniseries.
I think it was just a mini, right? Or maybe sales.
Josh, I swear, I didn't make this connection.
Really? You haven't?
No.
That's my wife, everybody.
The English teacher.
Feels too on the nose for the whole Face the Tiger hit the jackpot. It's my wife, everybody.
I'm sure.
This is why she needs a 13-year-old
on
YouTube to break down Neon Genesis Evangelion. So she can go. I can hear her in the other room going, oh! This 12-year-old is explaining Neon Genesis Evangelion theology to my wife.
Why are they getting younger?
Or Final Fantasy X. I don't know how many times she's played Final Fantasy X, but she still watches people play Final Fantasy X to explain things that she already knew.
And just nostalgic.
Top 10 times MJ and Peter have split.
Let's see. He's saying that X-Men 25 follows up the Gala issue, and I'm right there with you on the last few pages. Though now I want a read along in your Juggernaut voice. Oh, that would be fun.
I liked it, man. I know some people didn't dig it, but I dug it.
So Mary Jane was an ongoing. They canceled it early during the pandemic.
Oh, okay. It was supposed to be an ongoing. It was an okay series. I didn't really dig it that much.
By
RG98. Be good, brother. It's Final Fantasy.
Those things are dance. You know what's dance is Xenogears.
Oh, that thing is dance.
And Evangelion. You just, love it. There have now been 3 women who were jackpot. Second had a
limited series. That's right. And it was part of the Secret Invasion.
Important question. Have you dusted lately?
I'm actually going to call Tina and ask her to come over. Speaking of dusting, she always gets on me about dusting. That's why. Because I got to do some TikToks with her, and I need her help putting my tops together.
What? I could have the girls dust things in the house proper at some point this weekend.
Okay. We'll talk about that after the stream.
I don't dust. I don't think.
Why does my question keep getting skipped, Melanie? Why are you skipping Drew's question, Melanie? Ask it again, Drew. I'll make sure she picks it. Melanie, reading during
Public Enemy concert. Explain. Was it interesting?
Keep down. There's a lot of Public Enemy fans in the stream, Melanie.
I get weird sometimes. I was in a weird mood, and I was not mentally ready nor willing to open myself up to new music. I'm very picky about music.
New music. Public Enemy.
Shut up. To me.
No, go ahead.
And it was just going to be so many new experiences, baby. That's my reasoning as to why I just wanted to read a book. So, Rahul says, I miss Tina. Is she going to join the live stream anytime soon?
She will be on the review of One Piece with Amanda and I and Maddie.
And that's going to be Wednesday? Did you say?
I read Final, and I've read Plastic many years ago. I like it. Yeah, that's on Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Hey, Bar.
Where you been, Bar? Omar, Lazarus hardcover, yay or nay? Absolutely yay. Story's not over yet, though. So the world building is genius in that. The DC squander a huge opportunity not releasing a new hardcover of Len Wein. Oh, yes, but you're talking about what I'm sorry, what book?
Blue Beetle.
Oh, the Blue Beetle. Yeah. But I mean, again, like there's this corporate synergy that both Marvel and DC sometimes miss out on because they keep moving the dates around of these movies and TV shows. So sometimes it's really not the collected edition's fault. They did give us what I wish they would have done is done something like Marvel did, right? Marvel was like, okay, there's a Marvel's movie coming out. Let's go ahead and say, we'll do a Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel. We'll do a Genisville omnibus, and we'll do Carol Danvers omnibus. And that is freaking genius. If corporate synergy is a thing, and it is a thing, for some reason it just maybe subconsciously works. That's how you do it. So I wish we had gotten a Dan, a Ted, and a Jaime collections. But we did get 2 Jaime collections. I think that's about it. And a reprint of Blue and Gold, the Jeff Johns book. Oh, that book was so good. Hoping to find a print of E is for Extinction homage Miss Marvel cover at some stage. I was just talking to a friend of mine about this. He showed me a picture of her. I cannot remember the actress's name. The little girl that plays Miss Marvel. At a comic book store signing her first issue of Miss Marvel. I was like, man, imagine being a fan of a comic book, getting to play the character of this comic book you're a fan of, and now you're writing the comic book. That's beautiful, man. That's wonderful. I love that story. Like, I don't know. I haven't read the comic. It could suck, but I'm just saying it's just the story itself of her getting that chance to do these things is just amazing.
That's really cool. By the way, just to clarify, this was like a weekend music festival. We didn't go to a concert of Public Enemies. I brought a book. It was good. I don't know. I was like, I'm the people playing that, and I'm bored. I'll read a book. That's what I thought. Code or Omni, where to buy this? Seems like it's out of stock everywhere.
It's out of print. That's one that you're gonna have to find it like at either Amazon, like third party, or eBay or Whatnot. I think Whatnot does a lot of that stuff too. Genisville got pushed back away. Then yes, it did, but it is still coming out in October. So, oh man, and Genisville is gonna be a fatty. Oh, it's a thickie. Iman Milani, thank you so much, Matt. It's big. It's Immortal Hulk big because it's got both series, which is crazy because whenever I did my mapping of that book, by the way, my top 20 most wanted Marvel and Omnis are coming out in September too, a week away from each other. I'm going to film them back to back. Trying to stay ahead.
What do you think of Mariko's She-Hulk run?
It was okay. I like Rainbow Rowell's run better. It had, honestly, it had some good things in it. My overview of that is actually coming out, I think, when did I read? This one here, this week, this Tuesday. It's when I do these. The whole thing's got some great art, though. I really dug the art in here. It's got that anime flair to it. Yeah, ups and downs. I forgot that they changed the title back to She-Hulk, or the numbering back to the original She-Hulk numbers.
Top 10 ways mentees can get access to such awesome perks like NFC Discord, monthly AMA, and the book club. Thanks for asking. So on Patreon, different tier levels to suit your geeky needs that we start at $1. And thank you to everybody who is a patron, because Omar could not make this his job without you all. That you get access to documentation with $1. The $5 tier opens up to Discord, which is a really positive place. And Ben is one of the moderators. So thank you. And thank you to our moderators on the channel and File Shadow for doing the timestamps. You move up to $7.77 tier and you get access to the book club, which I'll be soon, the next couple of days, putting up a vote for what to read. And I think it's going to be Spider-Man month of Spider-Man, because we've never read a Spider-Man book. For the book club. So I'll give you Spider-Man titles to choose from.
And that's where you join an actual call.
And
like you're on the video with Melanie, and she gets permission from everybody to share the video with people at the other tiers.
Yeah. And there's way more perks than what I'm listing here. So check it out. $10 is the get your name at the end of the credits of the videos. Oh, there's also the Ask Me Anything monthly live chats that are really smaller than this.
And a lot of fun. A lot, because that's where there are no filters. Any chance Marvel will reprint Star Wars Original Marvel Years Omnibus Volumes 1, 2, and 3 are still available to buy, but can't find Volume 1. Those were liquidated heavily. I remember running across it, all 3 of them at a convention. I came close to buying it, but the guy would not take $75. He wanted $90. And I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Was it a Sunday?
It was a Sunday, baby. And he'd rather take the books back instead of my 75. Don't blame him, though, but it never hurts to ask. I love haggling. Part of the game. Just when I used to sell things, I love when people would ask. I would teach so many kids how to haggle. Kids were so cute. They come up to me and be like, can you, if a comic book was like $3, they're like, can you take $2.75? I'd be like, no, I'll take $2 for it, though. Let me teach you how this works. I have it for sale for $3. You offer me $1.50. I say I'm insulted. How dare you? And you're like, oh, how about $1.75? I'm like, how about we meet halfway and you give me like $2? I mean, that's how haggling works. I love teaching kids. I taught my buddy Jess. That's how him and I bonded. Omnidog.
You taught Jess.
I taught Jess how to haggle because he did not.
Give Jess a hard time.
He wanted my Man of Steel. He wanted my Man of Steel trade paperbacks, and he was like, "Hey,
Omar taught me how to haggle."
He messaged me randomly. This was years ago, and he was like, "Hey, I saw that you have Man of Steel for sale. What's your PayPal? I'll take them." And I'm like, "What the bleep is wrong with you? You're just gonna take them without even trying to haggle with me?" And he's like, who is this guy? Anyway, we became friends since then. How's Seven and Ahmed's Miles Morales Spider-Man run? I love the way it starts. The middle took a little bit of a dip. I did not like the way it ends. Like the last third, I just wasn't a fan of. It just got too complex, and I feel like ideas were wrapped up too quickly. My honest opinion. But I'll be honest. I mean, Brian Michael Bendis' Miles Morales Spider-Man Volume 1 was the same way. I love the first 2/3. The last part, when Bendis that book, nah, wasn't for me. I did teach an old dog new tricks. Dude, Melanie could tell you, I try to haggle for hot dogs at conventions. Nice price, but I'm not paying it.
Yeah, I went and haggled my first time. I just lied.
Oh, Melanie's adorable.
I've only got, what was it, 20? Will you take 20? Taking out like
$100. You got to change for 100?
No, but you could obviously tell I had more than $20 in my wallet.
There's nothing wrong with, I don't think there's anything wrong with haggling. Like, it never hurts to ask. I think it's definitely a lost art. You don't want to be a jerk, right? You don't want to ask somebody if they're selling something for $100 and they're like, you don't want to be like, will you take $5 for it? But you also want to, because the worst they can say is no. That's the way I've always come across these things. Is Invincible Universe going to be only one compendium? Would have loved to have. No, I think they have enough for Tech Jacket. They can even put all of Astounding Wolfman, even though it's got its own compendium in there. And Brit can come. They can put that in another compendium. What's a story that is known for being one of the best, but it's underwhelmed to you? For me, it was Dark Camarones. You at two Brute?
It was Dark Camarones. It was Dark.
I can't even finish reading that. Maddie and Amanda hated that story too. But
did I read it?
No, but you should.
I think it's because I watched the cartoon.
Like a story that everybody loves, but I don't like that much.
Let's see. Jack Berry, thank you so much for the super chat. 233
Oh, thank you, my brother.
In the chat, but only 81 legs. WTH!
Yeah, please don't forget to hit that like button.
Thank you all. And maybe it's just like, I don't know. I think sometimes people have to refresh. And
sometimes you have to refresh. Refresh, brother. Refresh.
The like count will go up. But thank you so much for reminding people.
I've got opinions, and they're just my opinions, but I think Hawkeye is just okay. But people regard it as the best thing ever. And to me, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye was just okay. That's one. And I don't want to keep breaking hearts today, so that's the one I'm just going to say, and we'll move on because I have a lot of opinions. Whenever we do old reader, new reader, I do not shy away from my strong opinions about some of these stories. That was an episode of Omar Holding Back. Dude, I was drunk. That was my birthday. It was my actual birthday. Andrew took me out drinking. Don't do that. Don't do that. I drank some bourbon and came back, and I'm like, let's talk about Dark Phoenix. You loved it. And they were like, the story sucked. And I'm like, what the dude?
Well, Matt says that he was overwhelmed with God Loves Man Kills. So how about that?
You were overwhelmed. You liked it that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always pre-like the stream.
Oh, thank you, Rahul. Hey, Omar, what's your opinion on the Image comic postal? I loved it. It's great. I actually had Hawkins on the show interviewing him. He's a good guest. And I had him and Mark Silvestri on the show. That was a lot of fun doing that, man.
Are the Starman compendiums worth a blind buy, or should I hold out for an omnibus if it's ever released?
Oh, man, that was when I was still talking to DC and they were talking back. But Hank asked me my honest opinion on the compendium. He's like, "Hey, I know we're gonna start working closer." Memories. And Hank, by the way, was the version of David Gabriel at DC Comics. He's like, do you think your viewers would be happy with a Starman compendium if we promise to release both of them? No more of this. Volume 1 and Volume 2 will be canceled. And I said,
Right.
Hank, if you do an omnibus, it would sell more. And then a month later, Hank was fired along with like 2/3 of the people, actually everybody I used to talk to at DC. So at this point, I think they're just focusing on compendiums because we haven't seen compendiums turn into omnis yet, right? We haven't seen that yet. Like we don't have Starman, we don't have Sandman Mystery Theater or the Alan Moore stories. So hopefully one day we will. But right at this moment, not yet. I talked to Bendis on Word Balloon channel the other night. I got to ask it.
Thank you for
super chat, my brother.
So this is awesome that you got to talk to Bendis on Word Balloons channel the other night. I got to ask him about Batman Universe, among other things. It was fun.
I like
He's
Batman
a normal
Universe.
dude.
I've always said that if you ever meet him, holy crap, he is like one of the nicest creators out there. Takes his time with everybody. Wonderful human being. If you know anything about his personal life and his adoption and of all these of his kids, and just like he is a wonderful human being. So I do not speak ill of the man. I'm just not the biggest fan of some of the writing that he's done. Omar's the common denominator for everyone that got fired. David's good. No, I better not even joke about that. Thanks, Michael Torney. I appreciate it. That's Starman? That's the Forgotten Starman. That is Starman, right? Jurgen Starman? That who you got there? I'm trying to see. It's a little hard to see.
Why do you like cranberry juice?
Because I'm not a fan of bourbon. It's crazy. I worked at a distillery for 5 years of my life while I was going through college. Most racist people I ever worked with, but my best stories come from there, man. It's gonna help make who I was. But I was never a fan of bourbon. I was around it all the time. I cut it. I'd help make it. I know everything about making bourbon. I'm talking about bourbon. I ain't talking about whiskey. For the people that are like, whiskey and bourbon are the same thing. They're not the same thing. You gotta have that limestone, that Kentucky limestone, to make bourbon. Big difference. And yeah, I never acquired a taste for it, but so I like mixing it. So I started mixing it with what's his name? Phil. Cranberry juice. I added the club soda and a twist of lime, baby. You put a nice little ice block. I remember like some waitresses are like, "That's what you want?" I'm like, "That's what I want."
Paul's asking where are the ROM and Micronauts omnis being
printed? I don't know. I have no idea. I think David's trying to get all 4 of the covers sent my way of Micronaut or ROM, and I'll have a giveaway for the 3 other ones. I can make moonshine and dude, we used to do bathtub. I remember we used to do bathtub hooch.
That
in when we would go to like Florida. We spent all our money on the fruit and realized we didn't have enough to eat, so we started having to eat the hooch. And we made the bathtub. We were like, where are we gonna take showers? We didn't think about this.
I drank hooch. That was dangerous. That was good.
Isn't it illegal to live in Kentucky and not like bourbon?
Yeah, it was dangerous.
It's also illegal to live here and not like horses. Super sticker from Bar. What do you got, Bar?
Bar, thank you for the super sticker.
Hardcover Melanie, my gorgeous, flavorable chocolate cake with crunchy petite puree.
Good luck reading this. Yeah, Omar, go for it.
And a touch of coffee.
What the heck? Oh, I want some. Do you really have these
what are you
things
reading
that
now?
You're eating?
What are you reading now? What are you reading now, Melanie?
I'm jealous.
What are you reading
now? One Piece. And started reading and flipped through Wolverine Omni Volume 4. And wait, there's one more thing. What was it? Was it Deadpool? No, I didn't actually get to it this week. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it.
But I felt like there was one more comic. Thank you so much for asking. There's only one thing I want to hear Omar's reading, which is why I'm not asking him.
God, she's talking about some poison ivy.
You're like, rah, 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 rah. Ooh, Matt ordered the Harleen hardcover. I think it's time to check that out. Yes, that's good. I want to go back and read that one. I'm
very tempted to get that ROM cover that just looks like the comic page, though I feel like it won't have the panels. No, the panels are because they reworked the panels. It's a house ad, is what that ROM is. It wasn't original. It wasn't in the comic book. It was just an ad. So what they did for the cover is reword it.
Oh, Mars. It's got a good point. Not a fan of bourbon, then why drink it?
Shut up, Psycho Cleveland.
He doesn't have an answer.
You know how many comics I read that I'm not a fan of? Quiet. The Unbridled Spirit.
That used to be on the license plates.
Now it's Kentucky. What is our license? Kentucky. It's that friendly or something.
Oh, that was bad. No, there's nothing now. Just...
I'm giving 2 thumbs way up for Bottoms, about high school girls who start up a fight club.
Zdarsky put a link to that trailer.
Oh, that looks
movie
fun.
Trailer in his newsletter. Letter. So funny with Marshawn
Beast Mode Lynch as the high school teacher.
Really? I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't know if this is my type of comedy. But Zdarsky was really excited to see it, and so you're saying that it's really good. I like the idea of Fight Club because I love Fight Club, the movie and the book. That part does look funny. So maybe it was just the, like, you know how trailers can give a certain like feel, tone, mood, those words to it. Maybe it wasn't coming through for me.
What's your favorite non-superhero top 3 graphic novels till now? Please make a video on it. That I've read this year, like non-superhero comics I've read this year. Or are you talking about just in general?
Probably in general.
In general, so, off the top of my head, I've done a video on that. It's like 4 years old though, so I probably need to update it. Things like Strangers in Paradise. I love that. That story still hits to this day. I freaking love Strangers in Paradise. Books like We Three, or books like Why the Last Man.
We Three Kings of Orient.
20,000 volumes. Okay, then I'm sold on the house ad cover for that Omnibus.
What was it? The fan made One Piece manga that was like all of them combined in it. Oh, yeah. Like you would have to make it like
somebody actually paid money for that. That is ridiculous. I'm waiting for
this movie.
Comedic Fight Club lesbian abs.
You're so excited you can't even type.
Bar's drunk.
First rule.
Miracle Man is is the same contents. The omnibus has just like 300 pages of extras. Or are you talking about the Epic Collection? It's the exact same thing, except the Epic Collection doesn't have the extras. It's pretty much the same thing.
No, the Alf mug's okay. He's okay.
Whatever happened to the Alf taking mug? Did it accidentally? No, it's over there.
Yeah,
he's fine.
It's okay.
He might accidentally. Is Jeff still here? Never mind. Why the Last Man? I got my answer. Your top 3. Oh, it's great. Okay. Oh, top 3. Oh, yeah, sure. Top 3. I can't redo that.
Matt says that
it looks awesome.
Looking good. In the past years ago, I read up to volume 70 something.
Yeah, you got to 78.
Started, and now I'm on 18.
Yeah. It's good if you've never read. It's a quick read.
Oh yeah. When Marvel finally makes their FF movie, what run should it emulate? Stan and Jack, Burns, Wade's, or Hickman's?
Oh man, for the movie, I don't know. I hope they don't do the Ultimate version because I was never a fan of that. But some people really like it, and in a way, kind of like Ultimates was like the Avengers, what they did with the Avengers. I think out of those, a modernization of Stan and Jack's stories. I don't think they should start with Galactus, though. I think that would be too much.
Craig said a combination, pull from everything.
Yeah, pull from everything, but start small with like Mole Man. I think that would be cool. Lesbians with abs.
Not sure if people have asked this before, but what are your thoughts on the WB/DC TV series? I've tried watching a couple of them, but I get to a point where I can't keep going on.
I'm the same way. I watched Arrow to season 3, and I was like, not for me. I watched Flash season 1, and that was it. I did watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. That was cool. But that's it. Rainn Wilson is Mole Man. Everybody wanted Danny DeVito as Mole Man, but he's already played this weird guy. Guys, please keep making top 5, top 10 hidden gems, horror must-reads. I wait for such... Oh, thank you so much. I do them every month. There's going to be 5 more this month in September. October starts where I pause to talk about horror books. And in November is top 10 graphic novels, standalone graphic novels. And then, so I don't do hidden gems in November or December because that's when I start doing the list. Like December is like top 10 reads of 2021 or 20. Oh God, what year we're in? 2023. Top 10 best releases of 2023. Top 10 Marvel Omnis. Top 10 DC Omnis. So yeah. Do you think they'll ever do deluxe compendiums for Walking Dead? I think they will come. Yeah. I think they sell too well.
Demetrius found your channel recently and is obsessed. I started collecting a year ago, and you helped me a lot. Keep up the good work, guys. Greetings from Greece.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. That's y'all are wonderful.
There are 4 Walking Dead boxes that come out in October for the 20 years of the comics, trade paperback. But do you think we'll have hardcover compendiums as well someday? Like
I think he asked that. Yes, I think we'll get that.
Wait, it was somebody else.
They sell too well. Dude, Nicholas, how you doing, brother? This is my buddy from Australia that taught me what Magnemite was. No, not that Pokemon. What's that thing that you all eat in Australia? He's wearing the hat right now.
I don't. Yeah, what is it? What is it?
What about just going Morrison's 1, 2, 3, 4 adaptation? That was a good comic. You're talking about the one with Jay Lee? That was good. I kind of like that, actually. But then it goes into some weird territory in issue 3. But the adaptation of the first one, I think a good mix between that and Stan's and Jack's story from the first issue would be solid. Top 10 comic. I did my top 45 for my 45th birthday. That was fun. Where has the year gone? Blink and you'll miss it. Can't believe I know, dude.
Okay.
Vegemite? Is that what it is? Vegemite, yeah. And I was like, I thought it was a Pokemon when they asked me what I thought Vegemite was.
All right, we were just talking about this yesterday. Would you recommend Transformers the movie for someone who only familiar with the Bay movies?
I would recommend Transformers the movie for anybody that is well educated and just loves movies. I love that movie. If
somebody loves animation, you recommend the movie. Man, okay, let me tell you.
Oh boy.
At first I was like, oh my gosh, this is way too fast for me. I cannot keep up the pace of this movie. I just kept watching it over and over. And it's bye. I went to baby. And the more you watch it, the more it makes sense. It's such a good movie. I don't know. If the person likes Bay movies, it's totally different, isn't it? Oh, and the music's so great. So they're two totally different types of movies.
Yeah. One definitely feels like a music video. It's the best way. If you like music videos, if you want to know what the 80s was about, Transformers the movie is a good representation of our youth. I know you've talked about Star Wars comics, but have you read any Star Trek? I've read just a small handful, like X-Men Star Trek. When Spock tries to put the Vulcan touch on Wolverine. It's drawn by my favorite artist, though, Mark Silvestri. The story was okay. It's never been collected in anything. Transformers 1 is all you need. That's right, baby. Vegemite, Australian, lovely, Marmite, British, far too salty.
Okay, say this line in his voice.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Oh, I love.
You got the touch.
I love that line. Transformers the movie rules, but I also like the very cheaply made G1 cartoon. Sure. It was also a commercial, like introducing you to a new toy line, but who cares? Which is better, Transformers the movie or 4-part The Agenda storyline from Beast Wars? That freaking storyline was awesome, but I gotta go with Transformers the movie. That's the only answer, man.
I know it sounds crazy, but I think Jim Lee's Fantastic Four from Heroes Reborn laid out the perfect blueprint for a series of Fantastic Four movies. It would just need better dialogue.
Well, who wrote that? Was it Scott Lobdell that wrote those? I can't remember who wrote. Oh, no, it was Brandon Choi, wasn't it? Visually, though, I think I've said this before. Jim Lee draws the best dudes sitting in chairs.
The best dudes.
Like Namor sitting on a chair. That's like one of the best Namor pictures ever. But maybe, yeah, I can because I mean, it is just pretty much grabbing the best stories, right, and putting it into a 12-issue series. Transformers the movie, watching on delay. What's up, Colin? My first concert without my parents was in 1991. Public Enemy, Naughty by Nature, Hero Boys, Kid Play. I never saw Kid Play. I always wanted to. I've seen Queen Latifah. I've seen Tribe Called Quest. Leaders of the New School, Fresh Prince. I never saw Fresh Prince. Never saw them. The last concert I kind of went to that was similar to that lineup, except a lot edgier, was the Up in Smoke tour. That was awesome. Oh, man, I miss going to concerts. I preferred the Dirk Diggler, Reed Rothschild. Yes. Oh, my God, dude. Whenever I saw Boogie Nights and they started singing, You Got to, like, really bad, I was like, oh, this movie is brilliant.
Bar said made friends with GWW on Blue Sky instead of Twitter. Leave Twitter behind. It's X now, right? Going to Blue Sky. That's where all the comic writers and artists escape to. It made me friends.
Would you Will Wilson, non-paid sponsorship.
Non-paid sponsorship.
Thank you for that. Hi, Omar. I know it's a long shot and maybe too early to ask, but did Marvel get back to you about the missing issue for the second Star Wars Omnibus? No, it's not too early, and no, they didn't. I think they've just been super busy. I can ask again. You're talking about the crate. I wrote it down. Look, I wrote that down. You're talking about Storms of Crate one shot, right?
You did write it down.
I will ask again.
Typed it out.
I typed it out. Yes. And at this moment, for anybody that's just now chiming in or joining us, don't forget to hit that like button, please. That really goes a long way for the channel. And it helps promote this type of video too, because otherwise YouTube's like, we're just going to put it in the back.
Series editor thought they would have got the go-ahead for X-Men if the Eagle Moss Trek had gotten another extension. That and later DC movie era. What's TOS?
Are about the
only pre-IDW missing. What's
I don't know.
The original series?
The original series of Star Trek, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, you threw the Transformers, and I'm like, Transformers TOS. Talking about Star Trek, the original series. Got it.
Mm-hmm. As an instigator, day 672 of asking, can we get Death of Daredevil? And then
I have asked. That was one of the ones that I asked. I just haven't heard it back of anybody or from anybody. I can ask again. I just also don't want to, poke the bear. That makes sense. Like asking too much, and then they're like, leave us alone.
Lisa said, please double check.
I will double check. I promise.
Thanks.
Of course.
Perry started watching the X-Men 92 series last week. Very campy, but I'm loving it. Your favorite episode?
I actually like the Phoenix. That's the best adaptation of the Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix saga that we've ever had on television. Because X-Men The Last Stand and X-Men Dark Phoenix can go to H-E double Hawk. Healy, if you're a fan of the original Dragon Ball. The original Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z.
Sam saying, what do you think of Guardian Devil by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada?
Love it.
In my opinion, it's underrated and a solid entry point for Daredevil. The coloring for the Doctor Strange appearance was gorgeous.
Love it. I am a huge fan of actually we did an old reader, new reader on that 3 or 4 years ago. Amanda, Maddie, and I, and they weren't expecting it to be as wordy as it was, because it is very wordy. I try to tell people, like, don't expect to go in here and think modern age Daredevil that is going to be a really quick read. There's some heavy dialogue. Like, even the beginning page when Karen is writing that letter, it's big and long, but it's so beautiful. Like when she's talking about prayer and she's like, I know you're a man of God, but I've never been one, about, prayer. And then at the very end, she's like, I'll be praying for us both. Oh man, it's great. Kevin Smith, Kevin Smith's, did you just drop one of my Omnis?
No.
Okay.
They were floppies.
I haven't opened that yet. I need to open it. I love it, man. Joe Quesada's artwork, Jimmy Palmiotti, they were wonderful, like, artists. Both of them at the top of their game. Unfortunately, they don't really work together that much anymore, but Palmiotti's busy writing. I don't think he really likes inking that much anymore.
Is Guardian Devil getting a gallery this fall?
It's getting a gallery this week. My overview will come out on Sunday.
Well, there you go. Hody ho. That art germ cover is
so
good.
When David asked me which cover, he's like, never mind, I know what you want. Because he knew. I was like, I love Rick Leonardi, but I had to go with the art germ cover. It's gorgeous. I love the design of these, by the way. They're really cool. In case you don't have the first one, and I know these are not for everybody, because there's a serious double dipping.
Yeah, you guys.
But let me show you this. Then you can open it, baby.
Yeah,
this design is so cool. Like the entire dust jacket design of the Phoenix is so cool. So there's the Walter Simonson piece, and then the art germ piece. Oh, was it Walter Simonson? Yeah, I guess it was. Rick Leonardi was in the first volume.
Tepsi Logic saying, why does every art germ girl have the same face?
I don't know. Why does every Oda girl have the same face? Different. body designs. I think
who was I smelling?
What?
That Madeline Pryor?
Okay.
Smelling Madeline Pryor.
Yeah. Will there be a Phoenix 3 volume? Oh gosh, I hope so, because I don't see that being collected anywhere. Omar, when are you doing your manga collection? Actually, my buddy Christian has volunteered to film that. So after they get done finishing this part of my basement, because right now it's a pain in the butt, man.
iMac.
Yeah, that's an iMac printer, but it doesn't have that strong smell.
No, it doesn't. I was like, it's pretty okay. And it's Days of Future Past is the first one.
Yeah, because it's a Phoenix omnibus, not a Jean Grey omnibus. That Man of War #1 cover they did was awesome. Since you are talking about Daredevil, which story of Daredevil you like more? Man Without Fear, Born Again? Man Without Fear. I love Man Without Fear. I think Born Again is phenomenal, and it's probably the right answer. But I've always said I'm not the biggest fan of the way that it ends. It kind of just sizzles out. I wanted that Miller ending, that Impact ending. Not sure how we didn't get a Rachel cover for the Omni, considering she's a big focal point, right? They could have gone, I love that cover to issue. Is it 40, 60? Is it 62? With Rachel on the, hold on, let me look it up. Excalibur 62, I think is what it is. Oh, let's see. Nope, it's not 62. 62 is Nightcrawler. What's 60 then? What's the one with Rachel on the cover? It's 61. 61. That cover, I would have loved that cover. I know there's it's just her face is in the shadows. Oh. The last page of Born Again is perfect, though. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like the ending, but it just feels like the story just fizzled out, not sizzled out, fizzled out.
Are you excited about X-Men 97? Do you think it'll be any good?
Do I think it'll be any good? Maybe. I really don't know.
Was Daredevil Reborn worth a buy? The standard hardcover is going for $10 to $15 on eBay now.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't bad. I liked it. If it's going for 10 or 15, go for it.
How long before we've got enough material for a Quentin Phoenix Omni?
Don't we have enough material now between Morrison's run and Quentin just being in just about every freaking book, including West Coast Avengers? Yeah, I think we do have enough now.
With a lot of epic lines near completion, do you think the next wave of announcements will start collecting the uncollected classics like Frank Miller, Daredevil, and Bill Mantlo Hulk?
I think we'll get more Bill Mantlo before Miller's Daredevil.
Can you ask Mr. Gabriel about future plans of oversized hardcovers from Krakoa era?
Sure. Let's get a GW Bridge. By the way, that's George Washington Bridge. Omni, character created by Fabian Nicieza and Rob Liefeld. I actually like it. They made a toy of that character long time ago.
What is the character? Is he a bridge?
No, he's just a soldier. He's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
I think he's still around, yeah.
Gotcha.
He was part of was it John Ostrander's Punisher run? I think he was part of that story too.
Dark Hawk.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, my most wanted Marvel and DC Omnis. That list starts this September.
Let's see. Every Apple desktop I've owned since 2006 has been an iMac. Now they're making comic collections. Crazy times we're in with the Tim Cook era.
I don't know what Tim Cook is. I was about to ask.
Yeah, New Spooky Channel was with you up until that. I don't know. Tim Cook. It's the bridge. The GW was the bridge for Quinn met her fate.
I think it is, but there's always been a disagreement between the creators as to what bridge it was.
Oh, okay. Any must-read manga which is not in black and white. Somehow I've never liked black and white. Oh.
Yeah.
But are those out of print?
These are long out of print, but they're in color. The epic format of Akira. In America, I think High School of the Dead, that's in color. There's some Dragon Ball Z in color, but that's not finished yet.
Tim Cook's the CEO of Apple.
Oh, thank you for that. What else is there? Apple. In color, there's not a lot of color options. There's a reason why in Japan, manga is just everywhere because it's so cheap to make. High School of the Dead. There's color Dragon Ball Z. Parasite. That's a good one. Yeah, Jimmy Buffett passed away, and the lead guitarist of the Dire Straits passed away too. Just saw that. All manhwa is in color. Yes, manhwa. Well, not all manhwa. Like modern manhwa is though. Omar, what's the schedule for
this week?
This week. Okay. Let me make sure because I got to make sure I can do these in time before we go to Baltimore. So tomorrow is top 10 essential buys or must reads for the month of September releases, as well as Daredevil, Guardian Devil Gallery Edition. Monday is my overview of Wolverine, but I'm releasing that early on Patreon. Omnibus Volume 4 and the Captain America Lives Omnibus. Tuesday's the Marvel trades. I'm interviewing who am I? I'm interviewing somebody on just a second. We do have Mel, by the way. Richard Davis on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's a comic creator. And Wednesday is the top 10 graphic novels for people that have never read comics. Thursday is my overview of Daredevil by Frank Miller, Artist Edition, as well as one of the Rebellion 2000 AD. Friday will be some Dark Horse books with Frank Frazetta. Amanda did a review of, what's it called? The Mother Nature hardcover. And then Melanie's Sandman Omnibus overview will be out that Sunday. So what the fudge is that? Who made this?
Okay, this is from Trevor.
Okay, let me read this. Okay, that is an awesome piece.
Look at this, you guys. Look at what Trevor... Here, I'll hold it up.
This is from Trevor. Omar and Melanie, 2 years ago, my life changed completely. What I thought was just a minor stomach ache turned into 5 surgeries, 3 months in the hospital, 55 pounds of weight loss. Those days in the hospital were some of the hardest days that I have ever experienced. I did everything to try to take myself out of the situation I was in. I love reading, but I struggle to focus on reading novels. So I turned to YouTube and found your channel. Immediately, I ordered Invincible. I had never been a comic book reader, but I learned that the medium was something I could focus on while in the hospital, and they provided me an escape. I spent the next year trying to regain weight while not being able to eat or drink, getting all my nutrition intravenously. Through all of this time, I continue reading comics and watching your channel. I'm still not fully recovered, and I still struggle day to day, but comics continue to provide me an escape when I get down on myself. I say this to say thank you for all that you do for this community. Comics will always hold a special place in my heart for getting me through what hopefully is the trial of my life. I also picked up drawing again. So I drew Al for Melanie and Wolverine for Omar. I've only been drawing for a year, and that is amazing, dude.
Wow. It's Saturday morning, Al.
For a year, and I have a ways to go, but I'm enjoying the process. Thank you, Trevor Enos. Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to put it up, tape it up right there.
I am so glad that comics are an escape to you during this horrible time that you're dealing with, and we're praying that you get out of this soon and you get your weight back. And thank you for the amazing picture and the sweet words. And you're so welcome. And I mean, that's when I found comics too, when I was in the hospital, when I had my appendix removed. So thank you so much. And this is a really, I can't believe you've only been drawing for a year. Holy crap, dude, that is amazing. It's what is Alf looking at? I don't blame him.
And we have one more that here. It'll take me a second to open up when we get a
second. And NMC helped me a lot through my difficult times. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys have helped me through my difficult times of losing my job and having to make this and transitioning it to, a full-time thing. Thank you all. And if you're watching, Trevor, I hope you get better, man. I'm thinking about you. If you wanted to feel old, Transformers, the animated movie, is nearly 40 years old. Thank you for that, Michael. Not that I needed to feel old because of my doctor's appointment. My jaded, hollow tin heart just beat a couple of times from that. Omar, I always wonder, are you of Mexican descent? I'm a Peruvian, so I'm an Incan and Spain descent. My great grandfather was Spanish. But I've got ink and I'm a mestizo, if you know what that is. NMC helped me more than I can say. Thank you, Melanie. And that's from Josh, baby.
You're welcome.
Oh, this I know.
This is from the Royal Academy of Illustration Design. Thank you for your support.
This is from Raid Press. So when I do a haul video, I showed some of the Raid Press stuff, like that robot anthology, and they had a lot of sales, and they reached out to me, and they were like, "Thank you so much from independent publishers. It means the world that you showed off our books on your haul," and we had some sales because of that. And they reached out to me and they wanted to start working. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I'd love to help. This, by the way, is a really cool thing. Like, you have this right here, and then it flips over to another book. I love when they do this stuff.
It's for the Raid team, for creators by creators.
So they're a publisher out of Canada. Oh, sorry, baby.
No, it's okay. It's
double-sided poster.
Yeah. Wait. Do I have it? Okay. And there's the other side.
That kaiju is freaking awesome. But they sent us some stickers and a trading card. You're so welcome. Thank you, guys. I didn't expect this, and this is signed by the creators.
This is cool.
I'm just a huge fan of what they put out. I had no idea that. Yeah, the director of marketing and sales reached out to me and thanking me because it means a lot to them. Because they're smaller and they're still trying to get their foot
feet in the door.
But I mean, they have published stuff, so I mean, their feet is in the door. They don't need my help. The biggest question is, what's for lunch? Any upcoming Omnibus news? Upcoming, yes. I can't say when yet, though. I love the blacklight posters. Alf Kaiju is the big bad for the next Godzilla Kong film.
Ooh, look how creepy that is.
There's 4 stories in there. If we're suddenly being nice to Omar, NMC helped me get into comics and collecting, and also getting over difficult times in my life, including a heartbreak. Love you too in this community. Oh, we love you too, Bar. Like a little sister. And Humans Omnibus, when? Whenever I make an Inhumans Omnibus announcement, I have to splice Geo. I'm going to cigarette burn Geo into the video somehow. It'll be a video of him just talking about Inhumans. And if you blink, you'll miss it. And Dave is going to be like, did I just see somebody this man talking about it
as an Omni?
I feel like I owe it to my buddy Geo. I am making my Oceans 11. You got plenty of gems behind coming to you. Oh, thank you. Screenshot that comment from Bar. Oh, thank you.
It's 103.
I wasn't hacked.
How many more questions?
Oh, it's 103. Let's take some. I'm having a lot of fun. I love you all. Let's take 5 more questions, and then I do have to get going because I got some stuff to film. I don't even buy Omnis. I just watch because I like Omar, Mel, and of course Amanda. You all get roses.
No.
Kingsport Cal never sends me a rose.
No, you're in the list.
But thank you.
You're in the list. You
brother.
got rose.
Cigarette
rose.
burn. Oh, another. That's right.
I
in the industry, we call it a cigarette burn.
I put Nightwing's butt.
Yeah, you did some cigarette
burn. Video.
Any word on Red Sonja Omnibus or Conan from Titan? Red Sonja was supposed to be sent my way. I may just get it from Cheap Graphic Novels, where you can buy books up to 50% off. Tell them the American edition is sent you their way, and you get free shipping on your next order after your first order. Prime Bar said something nice about Omar. We sure this isn't a variant? Omar is 100% responsible for the grim situation of my bank account. I'll take that. Walt mentions that their packages are bulletproof. Could they withstand a shotgun? Shotgun, well, it depends. Like, is it a spread shot? Omar, Nearman is indirectly responsible for my bankruptcy. I'm sorry. How would you compare the Treasury and Gallery editions in terms of quality? Treasury editions are floppy. They're not hardcovers. They're the same dimensions as the Gallery editions. I like hardcovers. I don't know. They just look better. But, I mean, they're beautiful books. They're big, oversized books. As far as quality, I prefer the Gallery editions more. But they're not soft covers like trade paperbacks. They're flimsy, like, I know there's an actual book term. It's that middle ground soft. Maybe Josh knows. Soft cover / hardcover. Almost 88,000 subscribers. Yeah. At 90,000, we'll be doing a giveaway.
Did you pick 3?
Yeah, let's do 4 more. Do you think will there be epic collections of Warlock or Captain Marvel? Yes. Yes, I think there will be one day. Any advice on how to deal with FOMO? Luke, I've said this on my channel before, and I'll say it again. Stop watching things like my channel. If you're having money problems, if you're having, you know, when I lost my job, I've lost my job twice. I've been fired from 2 positions. I had to stop watching reviews of Transformers masterpieces. I had to stop watching reviews of One Piece statues because I couldn't afford it. So I didn't want to tempt myself, because everybody has a different personality, right? Some people can control their personality, your buying spurges, and others can't. And if you have the personality that you have to have it because you see it and everybody else has it, then I suggest, taking a break from groups or stop watching channels like this. And I'm just being dead honest, because that's how I would deal with FOMO. Like, that way I'm not visually seeing it and not knowing it exists. Whenever you bounce back and have money and whatever disposable income, by all means, go and catch up with all my videos and hit that like button, and buy the things that you want. Yeah, again, another super chat. Looking forward to next week's early con. Yes, next week will be a little bit earlier because we'll be at Baltimore. And I have to agree, NMC helped me and still does help me through these times. They don't know how much they mean. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my brother. I had to stop collecting Transformer masterpieces only to get into Omnis, right? And then, like, that happens too, right? You get into something big and you want more and more, so you keep watching videos. And then, you go back and forth. I do that. Can you ask David Gabriel, is there any plans for more 2099 Omnis? Sure. So sometimes they don't answer. They're like, I can't answer that.
Any idea how pre-orders for X-Men 2099 were?
I don't, because the FOC changed. So the FOC ends at the next month. Next September. No. Is it FOC? FOC ends at the end of October. Thank you for letting me hang out, Omar, Melanie. Have a great weekend. You too, Michael. I think that's it for us. That's it. Everybody stay healthy and safe. Thank you so much for watching us. Hit that like button on the way out. My videos will be coming out tomorrow again. Thank you for being a big part of this, and love hanging out with my friends. I love you like a 6 out of 10. Really enjoy yourselves. Let's go eat some lunch, baby. Bye, everybody.
Stay minty.